All right, welcome back. President Trump unveiling a new lower-cost option for health insurance, but according to Democrats, it's junk. So what's the problem if it's going to cost less? Well, we're going to talk about it here to debate. Former New York Congressman Dr. Nan Hayworth and Democratic strategist Mustafa Tamiz. Guys, thanks so much for getting up early today. Mustafa, I want to start with you. Good morning. And, the Democrats have long accused President Trump here over the past year of sabotaging Obamacare. Is this another attack on the health care system?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the reason why it's junk is because there's not a lot of coverage in this health insurance policies. And so it's almost like buying auto insurance and your liability coverage is only $5,000. Well, that's not going to do you a lot of good when you get into a wreck. And this is the same thing in these insurance policies. There's not a lot of there. They're cheaper because there's not a lot of coverage. And what happens is many of the people that are sicker are going to keep on their coverage that they have. Healthier people will choose these junk policies, which will drive the cost for those that actually need the insurance and won't be able to afford it. This is a real problem. President Trump is putting politics in front of American families' lives, and this is unfair. This is totally destructive for the insurance markets, and he really knows better not to do this anymore.
Nan, we're going to go over to you now. Obviously, they call this an attack on Obamacare. We've repealed the individual mandate this administration has. I believe that'll go into effect next year. So it sounds like he's trying to give an option to people that don't want to pay these explosively high premiums for health care. And he doesn't want to force them to. He can't get rid of the mandate till next year, so he's giving them this cheap option now, right?
Well, it's an affordable option, Rob. And, I was privileged. I'm the only female physician ever to serve as a member of Congress. And what I know from having been a doctor is that Obamacare, unfortunately, artificially inflates the cost of insurance. It's an attack on the American consumer and on the American patient. So what the Trump administration, what the president's doing, is actually creating the option to have insurance that meets our needs. Most of us only need catastrophic insurance for the big expenses. So insurance policies that provide the coverage we need at a cost we can afford make the greatest sense in the world. Mustafa said it when he said, we won't be able to get people to pay for more expensive policies. Well, that's because they don't need, friends I have who don't have kids have pediatric dental coverage. Men have maternity insurance. They don't need that. They shouldn't have to pay for that.
Mustafa, over to you. I mean, it's a system where, this is how we paid for Obamacare. The individual mandate, getting young, healthy people to pay for insurance, is how the system works. But is it fair to make a young person pay thousands of dollars a year for insurance that, in all likelihood, they don't need?
All insurances work along that line. Unfortunately, Congressman is practicing the alternative facts. If only the people that were sick that had a particular condition were the ones that were able to buy a health insurance policy, then insurance policies wouldn't work. The whole idea is that you cover a larger group of people that are sick, people that are healthy, give them the same type of coverage so that cost overall is spread out. If you only cover the people that have an illness, naturally the insurance will become unaffordable, and long-term people will let go of their coverage, and we'll have what we had before, where 40 million Americans were uninsured, and they end up in the emergency room as the only care that they can afford, which ends up being the cost of the taxpayers. We have to have some common sense. The president is looking to get rid of Obamacare because he made a political promise that he shouldn't have made in the first place.
Nan, a quick response from you.
No. Rob, the president made a promise to the American people that he would remove the burdens that have been artificially placed on them by Obamacare, by the Affordable Care Act. We need competition among insurers. We need a variety of insurance products that will cover the needs that we have and be able, and Americans will be able to afford them, which they can't now. To have the government artificially impose price increases on the American public, premium increases, makes no sense.
You both make some very fascinating arguments this morning. All right, thank you both so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.